Archangel Michael says, "My beloved child, listen closely, tonight is not ordinary. Heaven has written your name in light and sealed it with oil." Archangel Michael has been watching you with deep compassion, waiting for this exact hour to speak what your spirit already suspected: something sacred is on its way. While you were overthinking, while you were doubting your worth, while you were hiding your tears behind strength, heaven was building something behind the veil. Something customized. Something emotional. Something so personal, you'll know immediately that this was not random. This is not just another breakthrough. This is the one. The one that brings closure to your inner chaos. The one that restores the broken rhythm of your heart. The one that God hand-selected when everyone else moved ahead of you, when time betrayed you, when prayers went unanswered, when you tried to convince yourself that maybe you were asking for too much. God never thought your request was too much. He just thought what He was preparing for you was too holy to arrive too early. So now, in this precise moment, the heavens are aligned, the gates are open, and your name has been spoken in the wind. Your destiny has not been delayed, it was being preserved. This isn't the reward of your perfection. This is the result of your positioning. You stood when you were tired. You gave when you were empty. You loved when you didn't feel seen. You stayed kind when people confused your silence for weakness. You never begged for attention, but heaven noticed you anyway. And tonight, God has chosen to let the oil overflow in your favor. The one thing you asked for in secret is the one thing that is being released in public. You are not just receiving a blessing. You are walking into a divine apology from heaven itself. I never forgot you. I was building something better. What's coming for you won't fit anyone else. It won't need validation. It won't need applause. It won't need convincing. It will be obvious that heaven had your blueprint in mind. This isn't a miracle that makes noise, it's a miracle that brings peace. That settles your soul. That turns your confusion into clarity. That replaces your panic with praise. That makes you say, "Now I understand why it took so long." You'll see faces change. You'll hear apologies that never came before. You'll witness people who misjudged you come to understand your strength in silence. And all of it will unfold with a calm that only heaven can deliver. Because when God gives, He gives in ways that no man can steal. Archangel Michael is not coming with a warning, he is coming with confirmation. He is not guarding your life because you are in danger, he is guarding your gift because it is holy. Tonight, you will feel something shift inside your atmosphere. A text may arrive. A door may open. A heart may change. A weight may lift. Something will align. You won't have to force it. You won't have to beg. It will happen because it's time. You won't even need to tell people, it will show on your face. The glow. The calm. The quiet confidence of someone who knows, I was remembered. Heaven is generous, but it is never rushed. And now that it's here, you'll understand that it wasn't just about receiving something. It was about becoming someone. Stronger. Softer. Clearer. Brighter. So tonight, do not dismiss this. Do not scroll past it as if it's just words. Because this is your moment. This is your proof. This is the time you tell your soul, it's finally here. And your soul will whisper back, I knew it all along. You were never chasing money, you were searching for meaning. You weren't begging for miracles, you were hoping for mercy. You didn't want to be the richest person in the room, you just didn't want to be forgotten in it. You didn't ask for the world, only that your world could finally breathe in peace. And God heard every word you never said. He saw the silent places you wept in, where no one could reach, and where no applause ever echoed. He saw when you clapped for others while secretly wondering if it would ever be your turn. He saw how you kept forgiving people who kept testing your patience. He saw you when you held your hands together in prayer, not knowing if it was working, but choosing to believe anyway. Archangel Michael stood near you then too. You didn't see him, but he shielded your hope from collapsing. You didn't hear him, but he spoke your name to heaven again and again until heaven responded with, now is the time. You see, this happiness you are about to receive tonight, it's not random. It's divine reimbursement. It is heaven's gentle way of saying, we watched everything. And we delayed it, not to punish you, but to perfect it. That one thing you kept praying for, the call, the love, the message, the release, the breakthrough, the rest, you will know it's arrived when the air feels softer around you. The weight will fall differently. The noise of confusion will suddenly quiet down. Even your body will feel lighter, because when heaven moves, it doesn't just shift your circumstances, it resets your nervous system. You won't have to prove anything to anyone anymore. What God is releasing is so specific to you, it cannot be copied. You will walk into a new atmosphere where people will respect your presence differently. Not because of status, not because of popularity, but because of energy, holy energy that comes from surviving what was meant to break you. God did not let you survive so you could hide. He let you survive so you could shine. And now your light has been cleared to glow without guilt. You won't have to explain your journey to everyone. Those who carry the same purity will recognize you immediately. And those who don't? They were never meant to sit at this new table you're walking into. Tonight, when you rest your head on your pillow, you will notice something rare, peace that doesn't ask for permission. That is the sign Archangel Michael asked me to mention to you. That peace is the arrival of your long-awaited promise. God doesn't just bless, He confirms it with stillness. With security. with moments where the world could be loud, but your spirit remains calm because you know, this is the beginning of my divine chapter. So open your hands. Not with desperation, but with expectation. Open your spirit. Not with fear, but with full trust. Let tonight be sacred. Do not let the old voices of doubt interrupt this holy delivery. Because what's being released is not just your answered prayer, it's the reward for how long you stayed faithful when everything around you was falling apart. And now, you don't need to chase. You don't need to cry. You don't even need to ask again. Just say these words quietly: I receive what's already mine. I receive it with joy. I receive it with peace. I receive it with humility. I receive it now. Somewhere along the way, you started to feel like the last one chosen. Like you were always standing in a hallway where doors opened for others but stayed shut when it was your turn. You congratulated them. You celebrated them. You smiled for them. But deep inside, you whispered a question to heaven that never left your spirit: when is it going to be me? And heaven didn't ignore you. Heaven was preparing the room you were designed to walk into, not through effort, but through alignment. Archangel Michael stood guard at that door. Because it was not time yet. Not because you were forgotten. But because the promise attached to your name required a higher level of honor. God wasn't sending just an opportunity, He was assigning a destiny. What's coming to you isn't just a blessing, it's your becoming. And when heaven writes the script, even closed doors become part of the story. What they didn't let you access before, God is now giving you authority over. What they denied you out of fear, He is now handing to you with favor. What they tried to remove from your reach, heaven is now multiplying into your lap. You didn't lose time. You were in divine training. You weren't behind. You were being hidden until your value was protected from being wasted. And now that you have reached this moment, nothing can delay what belongs to you, not opinions, not systems, not your past. Tonight, something will shift in your atmosphere. You will sense it before you see it. You will feel a deep inner confirmation. You will feel less anxious without knowing why. You will feel drawn to stillness. That is because God is moving things spiritually before they are seen physically. The shift happens in the unseen first. Archangel Michael has already been instructed to go ahead of you, to clear what was blocking you emotionally, financially, and relationally. There's a person who will think about you tonight more deeply than they ever have before. They may not message you immediately, but they will not sleep peacefully until they realize, this person is a divine connection in my life. And it won't be obsession, it will be revelation. They will be shown how your name has been spiritually significant. They will feel drawn to speak truth, to open their heart, and to finally align with what God whispered to their soul long ago but they ignored. The person who once overlooked you will now feel the emptiness of your absence. But don't let the past interrupt your promise. What God is bringing is not recycled, it is refined. It's holy. It's healthy. It's whole. And it's tailored for your growth, not your wounds. This is why tonight is different. Not because you're lucky, but because heaven said, now. So breathe, chosen one. You're not late. You're exactly on schedule for what was written in the sacred pages of your purpose. No detour wasted. No heartbreak ignored. No prayer forgotten. This isn't the end of your chapter. It's the beginning of your inheritance. And when God writes the next line, He doesn't use a pen of pressure. He writes with the ink of peace. Tonight, celebrate with a quiet heart. Not loud, but aware. Not proud, but ready. Because your spirit will recognize the shift even before your eyes do. And when it happens, when that one thing you kept hoping for finally shows up, look toward the heavens, smile gently, and say, I knew you didn't forget me. There are moments in life when everything you thought was delayed is suddenly given in divine speed. Not rushed, but perfectly delivered. You are walking into one of those moments now. And it's not a coincidence that you feel both nervous and expectant in your spirit. Because your soul recognizes that heaven is preparing the answer to what you silently cried about when no one was looking. You may not have told anyone what you really wanted. But God heard you. The one thing you thought would never happen for you, He remembered. And He didn't just remember. He crafted it. Not borrowed. Not broken. Not something patched together. But something complete. Something sacred. Something you don't have to beg for. Because what's coming will recognize your worth without you having to prove a thing. Archangel Michael stood beside you in your loneliest moments, when you smiled in public but were weary in private. He saw when you were left out. When they forgot your name. When others got chosen and you got quiet. But God was not being silent. He was being strategic. You weren't being denied, you were being preserved. They didn't reject you. Heaven redirected you. Because you weren't meant to be in temporary places. You were meant to inherit something that lasts. And now, the room that was once too crowded for you, God is emptying it so your presence can finally be honored. The person who once looked past you is being awakened. Not to just your beauty, but to your spirit. To your peace. To your purpose. And what they ignored in you, heaven magnified in front of their eyes. So if you feel a shift tonight, it's not imagination. It's manifestation. You were chosen. Not because you did everything right. But because your heart stayed soft even when it was hurt. You were chosen because you forgave silently. Because you waited with honor. Because you kept walking even when your hands were empty. And now, heaven says, enough waiting. Because when God says it's your moment, even the clocks align with your breakthrough. There's a reason your name is being whispered in rooms you've never walked into. There's a reason someone is dreaming about you without knowing why. It's not fantasy, it's fulfillment. Your name was written into their future before either of you ever met. And now that you're stepping into alignment, they are being pulled toward the light God placed in you. Don't shrink. Don't doubt. Don't delay yourself with the fear of being too much. You are not too loud. You are not too kind. You are not too spiritual. You are not too emotional. You are exactly what someone has been praying to find. You are the healing they didn't know they needed. The calm in their chaos. The peace in their restlessness. The answer in their asking. Tonight, if you feel your spirit move for no reason, pause. If your heart suddenly gets still, listen. If a name comes to your mind unexpectedly, pray. Because God is aligning you with a moment that will not only change your day but shift your entire life direction. And when it happens, you won't need to question it. You'll feel the weight of heaven's confirmation in your chest. This is the kind of love you don't chase. This is the kind of miracle that doesn't arrive with noise, but with clarity. It fits. It feels right. It feels holy. And most importantly, it feels like home. Do you know why it's arriving now? Because for so long, you were ready, but the atmosphere around you was not. The people were not aligned. The environment was not purified. The door looked open, but it wasn't divine yet. So heaven paused the blessing, not to punish you, but to protect it from being received by a tired, distracted, or wrong version of you. But now, it's different. You are more aware. You are more present. You are more healed. And God is saying, now you are prepared not just to receive, but to carry it. Somewhere in the invisible realm, angels have already started rearranging things in your favor. Archangel Michael has already walked into a space where your name was either ignored or belittled, and he turned it around with heavenly command. That conversation you didn't hear? It shifted because of you. That heart you thought forgot you? It started remembering without reason. That delay that almost broke your faith? It was heaven's hidden surgery preparing you for something far more stable. The person you prayed for? They're being awakened gently. The place you hoped for? It's being prepared quietly. The peace you begged for? It's forming inside you now. Nothing is being rushed, but everything is being perfected. You thought you were losing time, but really, time was being redeemed for you. Because when God releases something, He does it in fullness. No scraps. No confusion. No chaos. Only clarity. Only confirmation. That's why you felt so out of place lately, because your spirit was growing faster than your surroundings. But the shift you're about to see will make sense of every lonely night, every unanswered call, every delayed moment that made you question if you were seen. You were always seen. Heaven never overlooked you. You were just hidden until it was safe to be celebrated. Now, the celebration begins. And no, it won't look loud. It won't even make sense to everyone. But to you, it will feel like exhaling after years of holding your breath. The one thing that always slipped from your hands will now stay. The one person you never thought you'd connect with again may reach out. The one miracle you felt too unworthy to pray for, it's already walking toward you. Don't second guess it. Don't sabotage it with comparison. Don't delay it with doubt. Walk into it. Wear it. Own it. Thank God for it before it fully arrives, because that kind of faith pulls the unseen into the visible. And tonight, as the heavens begin to align, you will feel it. You'll feel peace like oil. You'll feel warmth around your heart. You'll feel calm settle over your mind. That's not emotion. That's encounter. That's God whispering, "This is it. I'm giving you the one thing you asked me for in secret. So receive it with joy. Don't hold back. Cry if you need to. Laugh without needing a reason. Because when heaven delivers, your only job is to say, thank you and receive. And tonight, that moment arrives for you. You may think you've lost too much, waited too long, cried too many times in silence, but God never missed a single tear. There is a record of your quiet faith, your secret giving, your silent forgiveness, and it has been weighed in the scales of heaven. Not 1 ounce of your pain has gone unseen. Not 1 second of your endurance has been wasted. God has kept you preserved while others walked ahead. He has protected your heart even while it was breaking. And now, finally, He is releasing what has always had your name on it. Archangel Michael has been watching the attacks, not just from people but from self-doubt, inner battles, cycles you never chose but were born into. He's been circling your name, placing divine protection like a shield around your promise. What was meant to delay you was intercepted. What was meant to humiliate you was turned into glory. And what was taken from you unjustly is being restored with interest. Tonight is not just another moment. It is the divine switch. The moment when what you prayed for stops being, coming soon, and starts becoming your reality. Not just emotionally, not just spiritually, but tangibly. In your hands. In your home. In your heart. That one thing you whispered about when no one saw you crying? It's at your doorstep. And it's not a coincidence. It's divine strategy. God waited for your strength to meet your promise. He waited for your clarity to match your opportunity. He waited until your love no longer depended on people, so He could send someone whose love was pure, not performance. He waited until you loved yourself in private, so He could elevate you in public without you forgetting who sustained you in secret. And now, your time has arrived. There will be signs. A message from someone you haven't spoken to in a long time. A sudden shift in your energy. A door that opens without effort. You will feel it. You will know this is not random. You will know it's divine. Because the presence of God doesn't need to be explained, it just arrives, and your soul bows in gratitude. That's what's happening for you. Right now. Quietly. Majestically. Like rain falling on dry ground, your life is being refreshed. Your hands will not stay empty much longer. So prepare. Prepare your heart. Prepare your space. Speak like it's done. Walk like it's here. Praise before it arrives. Because when you match your energy with expectation, heaven cannot ignore it. God is not teasing you, He is timing you. And the timing has finally come. That one thing is no longer waiting. It is being released. In full. For you.